Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session for the 2025 CLIA Global Cruise Line webinar series. We're thrilled to be joining you today with Regent Seven Seas Cruises to learn about their new ship, Seven Seas Prestige, and the newest updates on the ultra-luxury cruise line Regent Seven Seas Cruises. My name is Johanna de Guzman, and I'm the Manager of Industry Relations for North American Travel Trade Membership here at CLIA. Before we dive into today's presentation, I will quickly cover a few housekeeping items. Our presentation today will run for approximately 45 to 50 minutes. We encourage you to engage actively by submitting your questions through the webinar's questions module, and we will get to them at the conclusion of the presentation during the live Q&A session. For those of you who might miss today's live session or want to review the content later, this webinar is being recorded and will be available on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. It is my pleasure to introduce your presenter, Randall James. Randall started his 17-year cruise career in Omaha, Nebraska in the call center. He transferred with the company to Florida to take a supervisor position and worked his way up to being an account executive in our sales department. He has supported and worked with travel agents coast to coast and presented to individual agencies all the way to trade shows with hundreds. As of September of 2023, Randall took on a new role as a trade sales specialist. In his new role, he has worked closely with each of the sales pillars within the organization and has taken on additional tasks in development of new enhancements in technology for the entire sales team and our travel agent partners. He was just promoted to manager of trade operations. He has sailed on Regent Seas cruises himself, just completing his 17th cruise, and looks forward to continuing his travels on board the world's most luxurious fleet. And with that, take it away, Randall.
All right, guys. Well, number one, thank you guys so much for joining me today. It's really an honor to have you guys attend really the Regent presentation. Hopefully, you'll learn a lot today. Of course, if there's any questions, as Joanna said, please do use that chat, and we will get all the information we can. I am going to probably turn off my camera just to let you guys know, just so you don't get distracted in my good looks. That's my first joke of the day. Hopefully a couple of you are laughing. So, Regent Seven Seas Cruises. So our new tagline we actually just came out with is unrivaled at sea. And I think that this is really going to be something that we need to focus on and really show you. And that's what this presentation will focus into. So really our table of contents, who we are, our brand vision, brand pillars, pursuit of perfection, the Regent guest, Regent Elevate, why you should work with us, our fleet, and also our destinations, and then really just an overview. So our brand vision, our vision is to be the world's leading ultra luxury cruise line. That is the new tagline that we do have, and we want to live up to that at every single moment, every single part of our cruise line experience. Our purpose, our brand, craft and deliver the finest ultra luxury ocean cruise experience. We want everything to be from day one, hour one, all the way through to the end of their cruise, that they can come back to you and say, this was the best luxury experience I've ever had. And really the reason why we do it is the people that we serve and work alongside. These are the folks that are really making your clients feel so much better. As I tell folks, get them on board. We'll close for you. I promise you we'll close for you and make them a forever Regent guest. And as I spoke about, really having that seamless travel experience, we offer from their door all the way back to their door and everything in between service. So our brand pillars is immersive exploration, heartfelt hospitality, luxurious space, and Epicurean perfection. So immersive exploration with our multitude of shore excursions that we offer, also with what we have found is our niche is going to be an active explorer. Our folks that are coming on board these days don't want to just do the city tour anymore. They want to do the hikes. They want to do kayaks. They want to get into, a helicopter and go see a glacier. They want to do zip lines. They're just active folks. Heartfelt hospitality, and this really came from our ship, and I think it really explains a lot better than great service. I think everybody will say, that they provide great service, but it's really that heartfelt and hospitality. It's as though they're welcoming you into their home, and this is their home. This is their home. They're there to make sure that everything goes perfect in their home and that they put forward the best experience that your guests can have. Luxurious space. What folks come back usually from their first Regent cruise, they'll let you know that, wow, I just really never felt cramped. As you can see in the dining room here, you don't have to worry about backing that chair up into someone else. As a tall and bigger person myself, that is something that will happen. You don't run into that issue with Regent. Everything is spaced out, as well as on board. Our public areas are also very large. We have plenty of seating. We have plenty of room for our guests. And Epicurean perfection. We have really focused more and more on our offers on board at our different restaurants, even all the way down to our Coffee Connection restaurant, which has its own baristas and some of the delicacies that come with that. I really enjoy the croissants that are made fresh daily. Just really that personal touch with food. And for all the foodies out there, I will put our stuff up against anyone, and I don't think that they'll ever be disappointed. So as you can see, we're pursuing perfection. We're not just trying to get by, because this is what your clients expect of us, is perfection in every little thing. And I love this picture that's on the far right of the screen. When they're setting the plate and it's that one drop that they want to have in that exact space. They're not just throwing something on there. And it really comes from the heart. Like I said, our folks on board, it's from their heart. Their service is not just their job. It really is something that they just strive to make sure that every guest can say that this is the greatest experience that they've ever had. So we do have on our site, it's a series called In Pursuit of Perfection, and it just really shows you these folks behind the scenes. Franco, our senior VP of hotel operations, takes you back to Italy, brings you into his family's dinner, just having dinner with his family and showing where he's from. Steph Armengol is from France. He brings you to the city and talks a little bit about how he got into cruising. Bernard, food and beverage. He'll bring you to an area and show you how we come up with new food ideas. We are going to watch the last one with Michael. So I will actually do that right now, if I remember how to do it. Give me 1 second. Of course, I hit the wrong button. And here we go.
Perfection to me is the seamless execution of the Regent standard, our policies and procedures, the service most of all, I would say. Seeing the guests' smiling faces as they appreciate what we do, exceeding expectations.
Regent 7 Seas Cruises has the most luxurious fleet, but the hardware is very important. The one aspect of who we are, what is part of our DNA, is the crew members making those miracles and delivering that perfection every day to our guests.
Everyone now is talking about AI, is talking about technology. We still believe that the human contact that exists on Regent and the bond that exists between the crew and the guest is really the secret sauce, if you will.
Luxury is about choice. We provide them to a bed, linen, money. Nobody does that.
We have actually two purchasing scenarios. One is the local purchase, fresh produce, fresh fish. We usually purchase locally at the beginning of a cruise, and then we see how the itinerary is, if we have possibilities to purchase something during the cruise. Beverages, we have actually a large selection. We have some of the premium liquors, and we have a beautiful selection of wine.
You know, when we build a new ship, when we refurbish a new ship, and we go into details, so now guests would expect, giving choices, giving the possibility of people to have what they want at the time that they want, I think that's another key of success.
There's nothing better for a guest, first of all, to be recognized by name, but also if a bartender remembers their drink or a stewardess has something they like in their suite, there's nothing better that makes a guest feel like they're actually coming back home.
So I just love, that's why I love that video. I think it really just lets you know how much our folks care on board, and that they want to make sure that everything does go perfect for them. So the most inclusive luxury experience, and we still are the most. So that's going to include next level all inclusive. So shore excursions, drinks, one night pre-cruise hotel, Wi-Fi, prepaid gratuities, dining, 24-hour in-suite dining, butler service in our penthouse and above, the valet laundry service. So this is something that you can send out your laundry included in every night except for the night before the end of the cruise. And then you do have unlimited access to the spa facilities. When you do take our airfare, there are a couple more. So we do have the round trip flights come with transfers between the airport and the ship, and also a $500 per suite private executive chauffeur that we use. Black Lane is the company that we use at this time. So with Black Lane, it's really the flexibility to choose when you use the service. You can use that $500 credit anywhere from 10 days prior to your cruise up till 10 days after your cruise. That was something that folks have asked us. They, have their own private cars. They have folks that take them to the airport. They may, want to leave a car at the airport if they're traveling. There's a lot of different things that come into that. So, in one area that I have seen folks use this more and more is actually during the cruise for a day when they want to do something private on their own, that they're not looking to take the short excursions from Regent. They just want to do something on their own. Maybe they have family there. Maybe it's a special place that they went on their honeymoon. So included in our spacious suites, our ample storage space. So we do have the walk-in closets on all of our rooms. Your bathrooms, you have the double vanity throughout, a personalized service, and then, like I said, the butler is there for any needs that you may have in the penthouse or above. So when you put it on paper, the Viking does include Wi-Fi now, so that we do need to update this. But as you can see, we do point out, and you can see that there are a lot more inclusions, and this is against our contemporaries. So who are we looking for? Who's that Regent guest? Who's that person that you should be looking for? So you want a person that really wants that genuine travel. They want that bucket list travel. They want the the immersive travel where they're able to get out into the area. Of course, they must, as anyone, enjoy that luxury hassle-free travel. That's not for everyone, believe it or not. There are folks who like to be still in charge. They don't like that, but most people, I feel like once they've had it, it's hard to go back. The spacing, the culinary delights. You want that personal service. The 3 holidays per year at least, pretty much saying that if they're going on a cruise and they're going on a Regent cruise, usually these are people, if they're still working, that we want to at least have a couple holidays a year. Like to plan well in advance. We have right now our 2027s all the way out. We're looking 2028 and putting those together. $13,000 per person on a trip is not a baseline, but it is a good number to use. Traveling as couples, they're travel experts. So these are folks that are used to traveling. They know what they like. They know what they want. And then, of course, we want folks to share all their experiences on any social media and then to feel pampered. So how do we support our agent community? How are we supporting you? How do we help you guys find these folks, as well as to make sure that you understand everything that is Regent? So this is the Regent Elevate program. It's elevating insights, elevated support, elevated growth. So your success as a travel advisor really is our top priority. We want you folks, and I say this, I believe that we are the best cruise line in the world, of course. I work here, but we want to make you such a great travel advisor that you can sell anything, and then make you want to sell us, and that you need to sell us. Best in class sales and marketing tools. Our SSC University is phenomenal. We actually just revamped it last year, and I'll tell you that all of our employees go on and take that, especially our new hire class, as well as some folks who have been here 17 years like myself and learn something each time. We do webinars. I mean, we're on one today. We have co-branded site solutions that you can sign up for so that it looks like it's coming directly from you, as well as all feedback does go to you. And we have dedicated sales and business development support. So we do have folks out there, and we can always get you in contact with any of your folks if you're not aware. University, as I said, this is just, it's been revamped, and we have 3 different levels. So you have your associate's degree, your bachelor's degree, and then your master's degree. And with each one of those, there are additional perks for you as the agent as you get through them. We also do exclusive webinars on our Elevate program, folks that are signing up for our webinars. And these are things that I always would let you know that we're definitely, when we do these, it is because something is important. We don't a lot of times do these just to do them. Our folks are busy just like you guys are, but each one of these will have a real focus. This one's the flexibility is the ultimate luxury, and this is when we changed our era from inclusive to not inclusive, and we want you to hear directly from our top folks. So collateral, and I think that this is not something that we have to tell you, but we will send you everything in the world if you would like it, but we do hope that our collateral, we can give a little bit better understanding on our product, but also on sales. And there's a travel agent guide that we can send out to you that I call our Bible. It will show you how to market. It tells you all about our product. So that's another piece that I always recommend. So the Regent Connect, this is, you get a personalized email, co-branded sites. Like we talked about, it really boosts your revenue. We've got great feedback from our folks who have done this. Reach out to your salesperson. They can definitely get you all set up with this, as well as you can just go onto our site at rssc.com/agent. Of course, then I have the next slide that tells you exactly how to do the same thing. All right. We have dedicated incentives as well. We try to run different things. We did our Fabergé egg pendant when we brought out our grandeur that went to a travel partner. They live in Florida. They live in the Tampa area. That's as much as I'm going to tell you. I don't want them to have any issues other than that. But they did make a video. So we also have our once in a lifetime. We have partnered with Aramco Formula One team. And so there was, able to go into the pit lane, see how they operate. We've done that now 3 times. Also, our upgrades and things like that. So, and gift cards. I know some of you hopefully on this call have received our gift cards, and we are not stopping them at this point. We love sending them out, and I know that they're a loved thing when they're received. So, really, you guys are our partner. I mean, we're not just the partners with our valued travel advisors. I mean, we really want to be partners with everybody. We want to drive that elevated business growth. We want your business to grow through this, not just being able to find a few folks. Exclusive incentives, commissions with a comma. Our commissions all have a comma on them. So you guys all will receive that. It gets that fourth digit at least. Different marketing tools and rewards, travel agent special offers. So why should you work with us? There's multiple cruise lines out there. A lot of them do a really great job, but why would you work with us? It's an unrivaled experience. And what that means to us is not just in the cruise industry. That's an unrivaled experience that these folks can have on land, an all-inclusive resort, a cruise, a land, any of that. There's great earning potential. You can be confident that we're going to deliver a great product, that we're going to give you the training, and we're going to have events that you'll actually know what that product stands for. And we're here if there's any questions. Onboard bookings. That's that part where I said at the beginning, like, get them on board. We'll close them to make them forever Regent folks. When they book on board, you still get full credit for that booking. Marketing support. We're here. We're on your team. I think number 7 is the most important. We're on your team. We're teammates here. This is, we're here, and as any good teammate in the good and bad times, we're here. So our fleet, we're going to go through this one a little bit quicker. I just don't want to forget there's a couple things at the end. So we have our 7 Seas Grandeur. That's our ship that actually is our newest ship. 744 guests. We have the 7 Seas Splendor, 746. 7 Seas Explorer, 746. Can you tell the Grandeur has one less cabin? The crew, though, as you see on that, is 548. So when you look at the crew to guest ratio, it's incredible, and the gross tonnage, they're right around the 55,000. Our second grouping of ships are our 7 Seas Voyager, 7 Seas Mariner. So the Explorer and all the Explorer, Splendor, and Grandeur are all balcony all suite. The Voyager, the Mariner, all balcony all suite. And then we do have our 7 Seas Navigator. That is 90% balcony, but they're all suites. So we have large picture windows in 2 categories. Not that many on there. And now our 7 Seas Prestige that will be sailing in 2026. This is our new ship. We are going to start releasing. You'll see more and more and more of this. The public areas, the cabins, and this will actually hold 822 guests. But we have a 40% gross tonnage increase with only a 10% passenger increase. That space ratio is going to be incredible. And we've learned from our guests that space ratio might be the most important thing on board. It'll have one additional dining venue as well that I'm not going to share and take away from our marketing folks' shine, but there will be one additional dining venue. So let's actually look at the suites. I talk about them the whole time. So Deluxe Veranda Suite. So this is your basic bottom of the line cabin. This will have a 50 square foot balcony as well. As you see, it is you have your separate sitting area, you have your bed, you have the bathroom, dual vanities, you have a walk-in closet. Our concierge suite. If you notice, that bed is tilted the other way. It actually, the foot of the bed faces towards the windows to look out into onto the ocean. This is something that is incredible. What I and my wife will do is we will leave our shades open, and in the morning, waking up and looking out at the ocean right away, it's a different feeling. I tell you what. Our penthouse suites, as you can see, there is a door. There's a TV on both sides. So there's one on the side of the bed. There's one on the other side as well, with the sitting area. Just in case somebody snores or something to that effect. Our Splendor Suite, as you can see, as we get up into our name suite categories, They just continue to grow. The signature suite, you have your desk, you have a table there for dining. You'll have a piano. It will only be on the Explorer, Splendor, and on the Grandeur, but obviously it's a nice amenity. Your grand suite, as you can see here, and then the largest suites on any ship, the Regent Suite. So Regent Suite is 4,443 square feet. It has one large king bed, and then it does have a separate second bedroom that is the size of a penthouse suite. With this comes amenities of the spa service. You have unlimited spa. You have the ability to have a private dining experience in our study, which is reserved for the Regent Suite guests. You do have 3 on-call butlers, so there's not a time of night that the butler is not available, and it's something else. I tell you what, when you see it, it's just it's a different life, but we sell it. So that's the thing. We sell the Regent Suite. As you can see, there's a hot tub outside. This is the living room. There's our bed. It's just incredible. This is our bathroom. If that's not a wow image, I don't know what is. And then you have your deck on the outside with your chairs. So I did talk a little bit about dining, specialty dining. We do have included specialty dining. You do need to make a reservation, but our Prime 7, this is a steakhouse. As someone who actually is from the Midwest, I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, so people have heard of Omaha steaks, I am sure. I will tell you that this is phenomenal. It's very comparative to your Ruth Chris, your top steakhouses in the nation. Compass Rose, this is our main dining room. This is open seating dining. You can come when you'd like, which, especially with included shore excursions. Sometimes you come back from that shore excursion and you may just need to sit down for a second before you go to dinner and you don't want to feel rushed. You get ready for dinner, you meet, you can come with friends if you have a table of 2 up till 10. Now, with 10, you may have to wait a second for the table of 10, but anything 8 or below, you're going to be able to sit right away. And here's our Compass Rose on our Grandeur. The one good thing also is the Compass Rose menu has it has the daily, which you can get every day, and then it does change every day other than that. So we'll have a new menu each day. So you can eat there multiple times within the same cruise and eat completely different things. Chartreuse is going to be our French cuisine, and then Pacific Rim, which is an Asian restaurant, Asian fusion. And this is outside of Pacific Rim. You can see this has that feeling of being at a very high end. It is not my Asian food is not my top thing that I go for, but I will tell you it is amazing on Pacific Rim. Sette Mare at La Veranda. The nice thing about this is actually Italian, and you can sit outside and enjoy dinner, or a lot of folks will come here for breakfast. So it is our breakfast buffet area, but also at night then it does go to Sette Mare, which it stands for 7 C's, by the way. Real innovative, isn't it? Okay, our luxurious spaces. So some of the spaces that we have are outdoor spaces. You have, of course, your putting greens, the pool deck. They look so happy. As you can see, these is on all of our pool decks have that. On the Splendor, there is an infinity pool, and then that is the nice area up front of the ship. Some of the indoor spaces. This is our library. These are our different lounges. That's our hallway to the spa, which I think's eerie, but people love it. So ways to sell luxury. Utilize your social connections. The best sellers of any product are going to be folks who have been there. And also your own social connections. There are folks that are going to help you, and they're going to tell you how they have been able to sell us in this past, as well as we'll always be there. Fish where the fish are. Go to if you can get into a country club, if you can get into any type of travel group, if you can start a travel group somewhere, just really get to where the folks that are looking for this, they're not necessarily gonna bite as easy as some fish do, but if you're in the right area, you will find it. Qualify your client. Find out exactly what they need. What are their needs? What are they looking for? What would make their experience the best experience? And this is usually where I do tell folks as well, whatever issues they have with cruising, a lot of those can be solved with what we include. Folks feel nickel and dimed, when it's an inclusive product on drinks. Shore excursions cost too much. I don't have the ability to go out and do these things. There's a lot of different things that they can say that may, I don't like the number of people, the line. So, find that. Know the product. Take the travel agent center. Sell from the inclusions. Don't sell from the price. And then personalize your contact. Don't just forward what we're saying. Like, personalize it yourself. I know that on the video we talked a little bit about AI, but you can use AI to make it more personalized towards what you're saying, and do that. Build a plan. Have a plan on how you're going to sell that first luxury cruise. Because once you sell the first one, that person is going to come back and they're going to tell you about friends, and that's when you shine, we shine, and back to that, we're partners, we're together. So where do we go? I get asked this question more and more by somebody who doesn't know. We go to 550 destinations. So we do not go to Antarctica, and that's about it. So we hit everywhere else: Alaska, Canada, New England, of course, and the Caribbean. Here in North America, we go to South America, Africa, Mediterranean. Your Northern Europe, your Asia, South Pacific, Australia, New Zealand sailing. So, and then we have that world cruise that goes around the world. So there are 11 sailings across 25 and 26, and these are the immersive overnights. So what that is we are spending the night in certain ports to give the folks a chance to actually experience some cities at night. Evening shore excursions. You have multi-night land programs that they're able to go off and go a little bit further into the city. So these are the ones that are still to go. June 27th, we have the Copenhagen to Stockholm. October 22nd, Venice to Barcelona. You have Rome to London on May 24th to 26th. And as you say, a lot of them are going to be in the Med and in the Northern Europe. There are a lot of really interesting cities that we want to explore, and not just, on one day. So when we can have the overnight and have some of the dinners, it's incredible. So our product overview. So we have our Voyage Collection brochure that's out for 26/27. This will show you all the voyages that are that we do include. That's something you're able to order on our website. That's what the front of it looks like. The World Cruise, 2027 World Cruise, we still do have a few cabins available. It is Miami to New York, 140 nights. It starts on January the 11th, 2027. And as you see, we will start in New York and We do the southern route, don't do too much of like Northern Europe. Has a little bit of focus on Asia, but we definitely do focus more on the Pacific. We also have our grand voyages, 2026, 2027. And this picture I think is just incredible. This is a real life picture. This is not photoshopped or anything like that. It was taken actually by our head of our branding. So, and they just walked in front of this elephant, which is incredible to me. Our Grand Arctic Adventure is New York to Barcelona. That's going to be 81 nights. We have our Tokyo to Sydney on the Explorer for 60 nights, and then it looks like that Indian Ocean one got kind of messed up, but it's 61 nights Cape Town to Barcelona. So spotlight voyages. This is something that we talk about, but I don't think we talk about it enough. So our unlimited shore excursions, so we can take advantage. There's over 2,000 excursions that we offer that are included shore excursions. Folks are able to do something each day, and they have multiple choices each day. But we do have spotlight voyages. So Annika Sorenstam is one that we just finished, and you're able to golf with Annika Sorenstam, and on different golf courses. She literally went around, played pretty much the same hole over and over again, and dominated that hole as she does. Fabergé egg. We had the history of Fabergé, because our godmother for the grandeur was actually Sarah Fabergé, who is the current CEO. Culinary Arts Kitchen. This is something aboard our Grandeur, Splendor, and Explorer. You're able to take cooking classes. My wife actually just did this on our last cruise. She was able to get in and learn how to cook different dishes from, we were in Italy, so different Italian dishes. You get a cookbook, you're able to eat the food afterwards. Do not make a dinner reservation that night, because you're going to eat entirely too much food and have wine, and it's an experience. It really is an experience. So immersive art, we have really put more of our focus on our art on board. We do have an art tour on our Splendor. It is an audio tour that you can have on your phone. You can download, and we're continuing to create those for the other ships. And I think the beauty of the ship is incredible, but to actually know these original paintings and the history behind them. I took the one on the Splendor, and it just it gives you in depth. And one nice thing it does is on certain pieces, you're able to have the artist will do an individual and explain to you what their motivation was, what they were trying to capture in the painting. And it's just something you're not going to get in many other places. We get asked a lot if we do allow kids on board. We do allow them, of course. There are Club Mariner youth programs. These are going to be on select voyages. They're usually over the summer in the Caribbean. We'll have Alaska over the summer, and then in the Med, ages 5 to 17, and they are divided by age groups there. They have tournaments, they have karaoke parties, movie nights. It's supervised by youth counselors. You are able to come to it. You don't have to. And the kids are not locked in a room and just sitting there on iPads or anything like that. These folks do a fantastic job. All the folks that I know who have brought their children have said it is the greatest thing. Their kids are just like, hey, will there be a Club Mariner on the next one? So, and including that, we have kids sales freeze that actually on nights. So as a third or fourth passenger, 17 or younger, they do sail free. They get all the same amenities, of course, but those can be found online. Our value comparison. So this is something that I think is the greatest way to actually talk to a guest. You can show them, because if you look at the beginning, the cruise fare, Premium cruise line. What we did, instead of just picking one, now we are averaging it. So you start out at 6,999. This is an Alaska one for the example, versus 5,045. So right away you're like, well, I guess it's going to be more expensive. And at the end, it does end up being more expensive, but it's within a $200 or $270 difference. And really, the space is not going to be the same. The crew to guest ratio is not going to be the same. And there's just less people on board. So we always like to be honest with these. So, we may not always be the lowest one, but we're going to show you how close it is. And there are things with luxury that go outside of price. In the med, and we have these also with our against 5-star hotels. In the med here again. So that is the end of my presentation. I wanted to give you guys some time for questions. Hopefully we have a couple, Jonna. I'm not sure.
Hey there, Randall. Yes, we do have a couple questions, but I do want to thank you so much for the information that you've shared with us thus far. I know you can't really see the reactions you're getting from all of our attendees, but you've gotten a lot of thumbs up, claps, hearts, especially when you were doing the value comparison in price. So kind of to kick that off and stay on that topic, could you just talk about how or give us a piece of advice of how our advisors can talk to their clients who may be really hung up on that price point, and just kind of go a little bit more in depth on how to maybe qualify. Well, you talked about it a little bit, but to qualify, but then to go the extra step and really and close that sale.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I know that that's going to be a struggle no matter what. I mean, everybody, one thing I can tell you is that you can't sell from your own pocketbook. And that is hard to do. In sales in any industry, it's hard to do, to not think about if I can afford this. It's if they can, if it's right for them. And, you can tell a guest right away who does. Also, if they're going on sailings already, you as a travel agent will know, hopefully they've done them all with you, but you have a general idea how much they've spent on those sailings. And don't let them forget that cruising is not just how much it costs to get on board a ship. It also, you have to include how much it costs to get off of the ship. That is a big price point that people forget about. They think, I paid this much to go on my cruise. Okay, well, what's that other credit card charge that you got when you were leaving? Because on Regent, unless you go to the spa boutique, if you do like a helicopter tour, there is a little bit of a additional fee on a couple of excursions, but you can really get off of that ship without paying anything. And then using those comparison guides and just showing them that. That's why I like that on those comparison guides, and the ones that I put in the examples here are the ones that do not show us having a lower price at the end, because that's not the point. The point is that you're paying the pricing point for a luxury cruise line, and you're doing that when you're sailing with over 1,000 to 1,500 people, 2,000. Some of these ships are incredible, and the guests who are in the suite level category are paying more, or at least comparable. So I just really, I think that you have to kind of break them down and let them know, like, this is how much you pay for your cruises. As your agent, I can tell you this is how much you pay for your cruises. And, I really think that when you sit them down and show them all the inclusions and talk about laundry, that one gets people every time we talk to a consumer. They're like, what? You guys they'll do my laundry? I think there's things they don't think of, so that's how I would do it.
I mean, from a packing standpoint, as someone who travels a lot, if you tell me that you're going to do my laundry and I don't have to pack a lot, that is a great pull. That's a great benefit to have. But no, I think that's very helpful. And just to
let
kind
me tell you this. My wife
yeah,
told me when we just went. Sorry, when you said the packing thing, she was like, so I can just bring a pair of black pants and just bring a separate top, to actually do it. And then we can wash those black pants, because I know you don't want to wear the same thing, or whatever, but a different top with those black pants. And all of a sudden you wash those black pants and you have a couple days outfits. It's the amount of packing has decreased in our family. I can tell you that. As a guy, there's only you can wear those same slacks a couple times. So especially if you're washing them in the middle. So
No, that's a great benefit to point out. And then you did mention inclusions. You touched on it a little bit, and really like showing our clients or their clients, what is included in that price and that $200 difference. What is the benefit to that, right? Can you talk about the inclusions on board in terms of entertainment or special activities that Regent Seven Seas Seven Seas Cruises offers people on board?
yeah, definitely. So some of our onboard activities, as I'm just trying to click back up to that, but some of our onboard activities that we will do, we're going to have a daily trivia contest, and that there is a Mensa trivia contest, and then we actually do a trivia contest on board that is daily, and you earn Regent Seven Seas points that you can actually get a couple things at the end of the cruise. There will be guest lecturers on board. Each night in the theater, there's either a production show or there will be like a duo that we'll have on board, or a singer that we bring on board, or different entertainers, and those do rotate as well. But you'll have on, let's just say, a classic 10-night sailing. You'll have 4 production shows, and every other night there'll be something else. A pianist, we don't really do comedians. That's kind of been gone. We do have a full recreation area. We have pickleball courts. We have the putt-putt. We have a golfing simulator on 2 of our cruises, and then we have a golfing net otherwise. We do have the pool. I mean, let's just call it what it is. The spa is open also for, you can go in for a sauna or a cold, not a cold plunge, but a cold room. And that's included. Anyone can walk in there and do that. It doesn't cost extra or anything like that. And then it's just the daily things that they come up with. I'm going to tell you, they're some of the most creative people in the world. Depending on the destination, they'll have a barbecue on the pool deck, for one of the nights. They'll have somebody come on that maybe, creates jewelry in the area. They'll have a speaker come on from, like in Alaska, especially. We've had folks, natives that come on board, from the area, and they'll explain, like their traditions. We try to make it so you're engulfed in the area, as well as you're able to do, your own thing as well. But it's definitely not boring on board. And then we do have the lounges, and those lounges, you wouldn't think that they'd go as late as they do, but when the drinks start flowing, people have a good time. We'll have karaoke nights. 2 on the 10-night sailing. We'll have 2 different karaoke nights. Those things are standing room only. We'll also have music in our lounges, or we'll have like our folks come in and actually play, or a pianist. I mean, there's always something going on. Put it that way. But it's not intrusive. That was kind of a long-winded answer. Sorry, guys.
No, that's good, because the question was, what is the onboard entertainment? What is there to do on board? And so just to kind of, I know you mentioned that there's always something for everyone on board. But when talking about accessibility on a luxury ship like this, can you talk about if there's any changes in how the advisors should go about qualifying clients who may need that extra accommodation for mobility reasons or dietary or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, so we'll start with just the mobility issue. We do have mobility aids that we can put into any room, and that's going to be a ramp to be able to get on the balcony. The thought process behind that we have is that everyone should be able to experience the entire ship at all times. So you should not have to not be able to experience something. All of our lounges are, compliant with it, and for the U.S. compliance, we don't necessarily have to do that. I mean, obviously we're going to, because we want every single person to come. As you can see, I'm just by chance I stopped on the lounge. As you can see, because of the space that we have, folks are able to get through different areas. Our staff on board, when we do have to tender, this is a big question that comes up with accessibility and mobility issues. They will, it's not the best thing. We don't like to tender, and we are smaller ships, but they will carry you onto the tender. There's an area on all of our tenders that we have accommodated for someone who is restricted to a wheelchair. The one thing we do not have is additional pool resources. So it is something that is on the forefront, I believe, that we will, but right now we do not have that ability. But going into like diet, dietary restrictions, our folks on board can do any dietary restriction. Kosher comes up a lot. If they are strict kosher, those are going to be frozen meals that are sent to the ship, because our kitchens are not completely kosher, because it does require, if you're strict, for completely separate things. If they're just kosher meals, we can prepare them. If you have a gluten allergy, if you have a nut allergy is a good example. So we had somebody who had a nut allergy, and the peanuts that they usually put out in the lounges, we locked them up because there was one person out of 722 people that had a nut allergy. We were not serving those in any public areas. We take this serious. We take your needs seriously. And I'll be honest with you, we didn't have anyone complain, which was weird. Our guest relations was really expecting that, but we just need to know that. So if you do have an accommodation that needs to be done, we need to know that as soon as we can. 2 to 3 weeks is probably where we want to set that bar, to know before then. Not that we can accommodate still, but we just like to have that information as soon as we can. And then we do have accessible cabins as well. It will be, I think there's around 6 on each cruise, on each ship. So it's in different categories, because we don't want them to only be in one category either. We want them to be able to be in a penthouse. There's a penthouse, there's concierge, there's deluxe examples.
Great, thank you. And just to wrap up here, we do have about 5 minutes left, but if you want to just give our attendees just directions on where to go to get more information, or find out who on your team that is their BDM, or the person that they should be reaching out to if once they've got clients. And then if you want to also touch on any trainings available or marketing resources where they can find that, I think that'd be super helpful.
For sure. So rssc.com is our website. And then if you put a forward slash, and then the word agent, it's our travel agent center. I can see, I don't know if I have it up personally.
And I'm just going to put that in the chat for everyone. So it's rssc.com, you said?
Yep, .com. And then the forward slash and the word agent. So can you see my screen right now, Joanna?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so if you already have an account, it'll actually...
Oh, we're still sitting on the presentation.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought I shared it, but hold on. Let me see if I can't figure this out.
On the chat, the link is there as well.
Yeah. All right, hold on 1 second here. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So this will be the page you see it. So right up top here, you see earn $300 gift card, win up to $10,000. I mean, that's a pretty good thing, huh? So if you already have an account, it actually will enter your information. This is where you can sign up for our site. If you have not, it's very basic information. Your first name, last name, email address. You want this to be the same email address that you're making bookings with. So your profile, we want it to be the same on the website as it is when you're receiving emails after booking after like your invoices and things. Password you pick, obviously IATA, you should know that. And then you can select the type. So if you're like at the main office, a branch location, home base with a host agency, and then just home-based agent. So once you come in here, and we'll do this, I'm going to try to do this as quick as I can, but this is definitely a great area there's a marketing central area right here that is able to take you to a multitude of things. You're able to do flyers, you can do promotional things. You have your training over here. That's where you're going to go to our university. There's toolkits. So if there's a promotion that you've heard of, each one of the promotions will be under there, and it'll actually show you the toolkit. And then you can make a new booking right on our website. As long as you have put your information in, you will be able to create it on our website right here. You go through, it's very click and play, and you'd be able to create that. Real quickly, I'm going to see how quick this will update for me. Our marketing toolkits are here as well. Our prospecting. So this is something that I tell everyone to look at. There's a suggested email type timeline. This is what we do. So an introductory email, popular days are Wednesdays or Thursdays. Select a destination, send an email about the destination 5 days after, and then Unrivaled Space at Sea a week to 10 days after that. As you can see, each one of these, we're pretty much telling you exactly what we think you should do, and all you have to do is click on these to customize them with your information, and then you'd be able to send that out to your clients. All you're putting in is it fills in most of your info because we have that because you're under the center. That is an easy way when you're prospecting by email. There's flyers, there's images, there's videos. You can order brochures here. So yeah, it's I tell you, it's there's so much to it. I could do an entire hour probably on that, but I would definitely recommend you guys signing into that.
Great, thank you. And I hope all of our attendees will be in contact with your team over at Regent 7 Seas Cruises.
Sorry, I have
Yeah,
one more to put in the
sure.
chat. So a good email address is RSSC Sales Assoc. So RSSC SALES ASSOC at rssc.com. So that goes to an inside sales team. Perfect. That goes to an inside sales team. They would be able to help you to identify your team member, your person out in the field that would be able to represent you. And they also are very helpful. Sometimes you'll find out that your person is out of the office, for on a, vacation or something. And so they're helpful there. But yeah, so that's a good area that they can help.
Amazing. Thank you for your time again this afternoon. Thank you for attendees for joining another session of the webinar series. And we hope to see you all soon. And hopefully we will all get on a Regent 7 Seas Cruises soon. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, really appreciate it, everyone. I really do. Thank you very much for attending, and we look forward to seeing you.
All right. Take care, everyone.